Turn your volume down on your phone,
That's what I'm gonna do now.
and let's see if I can get you on Instagram
Yep.
while we populate with viewers.
Do you see the request?
I do, but it's not.
It's not working.
It says Poly Haitian Hottie is unable to join.
Hmm. Let me head back. Let me head out. All right. I'm gonna try again.
Hey, you
Okay.
guys, Poly Pimps are back, and we are trying to set up our Instagram so we can be broadcast all over the world. Let me try to
Bear
get
with
you
us. We're
on.
not techie, but we're trying. All right. The poly
It's
pen.
not doing it again. I don't know what's going on.
It's doing it.
Let's
It's
just.
doing it now. It said you accepted.
Oh, okay. I see you here. I see you there. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
So,
Oh, I
yes.
have an Instagram.
All right. So you got to do it like we're looking at two cameras. You
I
know what I
know,
mean?
right? I think what I'm gonna do is actually move um my my phone to oh my goodness. We are so
Pardon us. We're experiencing technical difficulties right now. We're trying to get it together.
all right. So now I'm looking in just one direction.
If I go like this, I can get both angles.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So we are here. The Poly Pimps are back. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about is polyamory or non-monogamy an option? Now we're talking about dating apps because everybody is single. It seems. And
Lots of single people out there, even the ones that are coupled are single.
exactly. I was thinking you were thinking exactly what I was thinking. It's like a lot of people are out here being single, whether they're single or not. There's a energy of singleness. Maybe it's not singleness, maybe it's just being free. People just want to be free. I get it.
That's it. That's it, right? So
Yep.
I'm super excited. I am pumped tonight about this topic. So, ever since we decided about the topic for tonight, I was like, well, it's been a while since I've been on dating apps. I haven't really tried to date any new people lately just because of time. I'm saturated. I'm staying saturated. Life and everything I have going on. I'm like, okay, I don't think I have time for that. But since we were talking about it, I'm like, well, this is the best time to go on the dating apps again and see what's up. So basically, it was more for like research purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, girl. Oh, now I'm like, I see why people keep saying it's
Hey,
trap.
Maritza.
Hey, Marissa.
So let's introduce ourselves for the new folks in the building because
Yeah,
I've invited a bunch of people tonight, and I hope all all millions of them come.
yes, because we're gonna go viral. For
Yes.
those who don't know us yet, we are the Poly Pimps. And separately, I am the Haitian Hottie, the Hottie from Haiti, however you want to say it. Meet your
Yes.
pals. I am a big poly advocate. Been poly my whole life, but only living the life since 2019 or so. Started about 5 years ago after the dyad fell apart.
Very cool.
Hey, God, Lizzo. So yeah, and I am basically I'm at the point in my life where it's like this is what I should have been doing this whole time, and there is no going back to monogamy for me, and I am happy in the way that I live, the way I relate with people. Now, I'm not saying there's never any challenges. There's always going to be challenges because anytime you have any kind of relationship, friendship, relationship, partnership, workship, all of the ship, you're always going to have
And shit.
challenges. Yes, they all come with different challenges, but all in all, I am very happy with my life choices, and That's that.
Awesome. Awesome. I too am happy with my life choices for the most part. Um, I am Sky Juice in the building, and um, I am polyamorous. However, I'm getting accustomed to all these monogamous people in the world because there's just too many of them, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, just so you guys know, if you want to come and join the conversation, you can do it in three ways. I posted the link. Oh, I didn't post it over here on Instagram, but on Facebook and YouTube, I posted the link that you
Let
can
me
come
see
and
if I
join
can
us.
post it.
You can either jump in and see your face so we can see you in the mix, or you don't have to turn your camera on and just we can hear you like a call in, or you can just chat and we'll read it out loud or what have you. Whatever type of disguise that you're living, we appreciate you. So feel free to chat in. But this is about the those darn awful dating apps and how we connect and meet friends, lovers, and etc. Everyone's always trying to meet their better half,
Yes. Yes.
their forever person, their one and only,
Everything. They're everything.
their
Are we
everything.
gonna have a friend join us tonight?
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
I'm hoping at least one person jumps in.
Yep. But yeah, so I mean, there's many reasons why people go on dating apps. I don't know if you've been on Bumble lately, but it does give you the option for friendships, for relationship, and whatever else. I think there were like three options, and I'm
I
like,
did see that networking or something. I don't know.
yeah, I like, okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So you can jump in any category that you see fit for yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. I'm always in the dating zone because I'm like, I don't know. I'll just meet people in real life for friendship.
I would like to not be on a dating app, to be honest. I'll tell my truth. Because it's a lot of work to like, hey, what's your name? What do you do?
We're gonna get to that.
Oh my God. It is like elementary school and I hate it. And I wish my life was in a place where dating apps weren't a thing for me, but they're like a good donut.
So for the first time though, I met a couple of people in person. So this
Yeah.
past Saturday, the
First
Poly
time?
Couple next door, yes, and probably um God, in the last 5 years, this is literally the first time I met a couple of people on in person. The Poly Couple next door had an event they put together. It was a little poly meet, I guess. Um, and so we I ended up going. You were supposed to go, but you confused the time.
Yeah, I missed it.
It was fun. It was a small group, but it gave you the opportunity to just kind of mingle with everybody. There were jokes cracking around everywhere. It was so much fun. And then, I ended up just, getting to information, and it was pretty cool. I'm like, I haven't had that happen in a long time because I've just been on dating apps and everything happens online. So it was kind of refreshing just talking to people like that you may be interested in without, I mean, of course you ask questions, but it was definitely cool.
Yeah, I think we should do that actually. We should have a mixer.
The poly pimps are gonna put it
Yeah.
together. People
I
get
think we should have
ready,
a
get ready.
mixer. We should
And
have
before you guys go on the deep end, it's not gonna be a naked party. Just so you know.
oh,
Because
oh.
people keep thinking like, oh, polyamory, oh, there might be a lot of F and.
Is there gonna be a pool and is there gonna be naked bodies running around?
Yes.
That's the first question I get.
Yes. So no, that is not what it's
No.
gonna be.
Mm-mm.
So
See, I put my tall shirt on so I can feel a little conservative because everyone is always thinking polyamory is the jump off.
yes. Hey, Nisha. Yes,
So
dating apps are mostly mono-centered, which sucks. Girl, tell me about it. Um, yeah, Nisha, well, we haven't met in person yet, but we have met online through a friend. Kickback, not Mixer. Okay, thank you,
okay,
David. I
kickback.
don't
Thank
know.
you. We'll do with a kickback.
Sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool. Naked on the first connect. Is that a show? Is that an idea for a show? We can do
Is
that. And Angel
naked,
Love.
naked on the first? Why not?
What's he? What's
Okay.
he
Okay.
like?
Okay. 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 Ha ha. Hey,
We'll take
Raheem.
all the
Welcome.
suggestions to at heart, and we'll think about it and see what we can come up with.
Right. So let's get into the whole dating app thing. So where are people mostly, like what apps are being used here?
Personally, I use Bumble. I love OKC because OKC is OK Cupid. OKC, the reason why I like it is because it really gives me the opportunity to just swipe left by just reading that person's profile, right? First of all, if you don't post um like if you don't even post a what you call it uh an
A
introduction
description. Yeah,
profile
like a thing. Yeah.
description, I'm not even interested because you can't even say a little bit of something about you. um so um but I also like the fact that you can see personally when people say monogamous or non-monogamous left, because I don't have time for your confusion. It's either you are or you're not, right? So that's me, because I'm not interested in people who are interested in monogamy, because what that tells me most of the time is you're just waiting for the right one to come along, and then
Yes.
the rest of the
Yes.
people will be trash.
Mhm.
I don't have time for that. No, I refuse. So I only swipe right on the non-monogamous people. Now that pool is very small on OKC, and literally the same faces come back in the feed over and over. Like some people by now, I know their faces. It's like, no, I don't want you. Swipe left, swipe left.
Yeah.
But I've also met one of my partners, actually two different people, great people on OKC. Then Bumble, one of my longest partner I met on there. Actually, all the serious ones I've met on Bumble. But the only thing I do not like about Bumble is the fact that you cannot see from the get go if the person, you cannot tell if they're polyamorous or not. So you just have to assume that they are monogamous, but that they read your profile. Because what I do myself, I plaster it on my profile. I am polyamorous, which means, because people are not gonna go into Google because they're too lazy to do that, which means no exclusivity or no monogamy for me. So I make it clear. People still swipe on me without reading, and those things are put in bold letters and all capital letters, so it kind of catches your attention. But
Mhm.
no, they just look at the cuteness and then just ignore what I write until I start talking to them.
Absolutely.
That's right, Nisha. They don't read at all.
Raheem
Okay.
says, I met my wife on OKC.
All
All right.
right, that's what's up. I was on Hinge for a short period of
Hey,
time.
hey.
I only met a couple of people on Hinge, but it didn't become anything.
Well, for me, I think that the apps that I've been using lately is Facebook dating, Black, BLK, Black, um,
Okay.
OKC and Tinder, not as much. And the only reason why is because I don't pay for none of this. I ain't paying for none of this.
Neither
It's not that serious. Number one. Number two, there's just too many white guys that pop up for me. And I'm just like, I don't like, why are y'all sending this to me? So
Yeah.
black, so a friend of mine told me about BLK and I was like, oh, okay, it's all black. I can get with that. And then Facebook, I guess it has my whatever. They're mostly black men in there and stuff like that. Are you guys heterosexual?
Are we already going into the comments? Because there's a lot of stuff
No,
popping up.
look, come
Gonna
with the
miss out on
questions.
one of them.
We will veer off to the left.
And
Yes, I am.
I am heteroflexible.
Heteroflexible. Very interesting. What a new word we've been we create new words every day.
Yes.
Okay. Heteroflexible. That's fine. Fine with me. A guy said that to me. I was not impressed though, because I mean, I don't want to be I don't want to be stereotypical, but yeah, I just not.
It's all right. You are who you are.
I just don't want to be that person that's not into something cool.
Right.
I guess it's not cool to me, but if it's cool for you over there, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But a guy, we had a really good conversation too, and then he was like, I love women, but every now and then I like a little tickle and like tickle or some shit like that. And I was just like, yeah, it's a no for me because.
Oh God, Sky, you are what's the word? Not conservative, not just conservative. I can't find the word right now.
For me, I call it vanilla with sprinkles.
Where's the sprinkle? I'm looking for it.
No, because sprinkle comes when it comes. Don't. Yeah, some of y'all be like full banana splits Sundays with all the chocolate,
I want
everything,
bring it on,
cream, strawberries, all that stuff. I'm a straight vanilla cone with a tiny bit of chocolate sprinkles, maybe the rainbow, but not a lot. But yeah.
But it's okay. I mean,
yeah,
we're all different, and that's the beauty of this: is living the life that we want, living how we want to live.
Peace, Rhonda. Welcome.
I am going back because a lot of people have commented, and I don't want them to go unnoticed. So I'm trying to go back up.
Okay.
In the comments. So I think I know we have not finished talking about the stuff yet, but hey, what's up, Raheem? So of course Rudy said, why not? And then Raheem said, all them shits. Cordell Jones, you and your wife should watch this. Oh, I guess Angel Love is trying to tag somebody to kind of come on the show. Bumble, Hinge, OKC, Nisha. Yes, those are the three that I feel like that I have used. I've had a boot from every app. I don't doubt it, Raheem. You hot chocolate. That's my name for him. I hate.
I'm also posting the link
one.
I'm posting the link again for folks.
Have you heard of this one?
Field? No, I haven't heard of Field. Not familiar with Field. I'm familiar with what you said: OKC, Bumble, Tinder, Facebook dating, trash-ish.
I have not tried Facebook dating because I've heard a lot of trash from it. So I'm like, I don't have time anyway for one more. Tinder, I think the very first time I tried Tinder, I lasted 2 weeks. I was like, I cannot with Tinder. So I never went back.
Okay, Cupid to me is the best, but I really feel like if I want to really use it, I got to pay for it because I want
it doesn't have a good pool for me.
Yeah,
I feel
I went through the pool. Rudy Pierre says oops. Sorry. David says depends on the vibe I'm looking for on the apps. Oh, what are you looking for, David, on the apps? They don't read at all.
David. And of course, Raheem said, I met my wife on OKC. Yes. We already read that. Are you guys heterosexual? Let me create an account on OKC. Yes, Rudy, go ahead. I'm not advising you on anything because I'm innocent here, but sure, it is open to everybody. And Raheem said, I met me too on OKC. Yes. And I think we met on Bumble too. Like, so what I like to do, even if I match with somebody on one app, if I see you on another one, I'm swiping again to make sure we match again. And I send you a message like I've never met you before. So I love doing that. So yeah, Facebook is the worst. Oh, thank you, David. So I definitely will not be jumping on there.
I mean, I've met some people on Facebook, so I won't discredit it. I mean,
Okay.
it's just is Facebook is giving Tinder for folks who don't realize that. It's giving Tinder because it's he's talking about you, by the way,
Who?
David.
Oh, honey, I am definitely not a pillow princess. I think he's talking about you. You know what a pillow princess is?
Of course I do, but
Traditional. That's the word I was looking for. Traditional.
I'm traditional.
Yes.
Yes, I'm traditional.
Yes. So you are the pillow princess, right, David? Thank you. Because she's vanilla with just a little sprinkle of chocolate, just a little sprinkle.
All right, let's get back to the program.
Nothing wrong with that. At least he's honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
a tickle. Nisha's like, not a tickle. Yes, Nisha. Some people like a tickle, and it's okay. I'm with all that.
So,
This is R-rated show tonight.
is it? So what's going on here is folks want to know how to make dating apps work. I think that's a big thing. And I think I have a formula, even though, I can't really bring receipts straight up.
You got the joy formula.
Okay, here's the thing. I like to speak for the men because a lot of guys, I have a lot of guy friends. And this is what they say. They say that women don't like to give their phone number out and they want to just talk and text through the app forever.
Okay.
They even want to set up a date on the app by texting.
Okay.
And I'm just like, stop doing that. Like,
But
I think if I match with somebody and I just like, hey, how you doing? What have you? Really, the only conversation you really need to have initially is when can we talk? Because oh yeah, I'm not having a conversation by text. I'm just like, let's get our schedule. Like, are you free? I'll be like, I'll free after work, or we can even talk in the morning before I go to work or my day off or what have you. I need some time to talk to you. I need the 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes to hear your voice.
So here's the thing for me. I go with the vibe, right? So if somebody gives me the vibe that I can share my phone number with you right away, I go ahead and do that. So reason why I've given my number a couple of times, and then by the time I talk to those people, I'm like, no, let me just like not talk to them anymore. Excuse me. Today is a perfect example because I told you guys as soon as we decided we were going to talk about the dating apps, right? I started jumping back on those apps just to see if I can match a few people before the show. And I did. I matched the most on Bumble. So one guy, swipe right, he's cute, swipe right, it's a match. So I send my message now. My very first message on Bumble every single time. And I even have like a paragraph kind of drawn out. You
just save it and cut and paste it.
Yes, because I don't want to waste my time. My time is precious, right? And I don't want to waste your time either. So my very first message always includes, hey, I hope you read my profile entirely, because it has all the information that you need to know about me before you can decide if you want to engage with me or not. Hey, hope you read my whole profile, blah, blah, blah. And by the time I sent that message, it was unmatched. Thank you very much for not wasting my time. Now, another guy today, literally, I was eating my lunch and I was like, oh, let me jump on the show because I don't think I'll have time tonight. Let me jump on the app. So I jump on the app, see this guy. I'm like, let me see. I swipe right. It's a match. Okay, cool. I sent him the same message. Hey, hope you read my profile in its entirety. He's like, yes, I did. Well, I didn't make a mistake in spelling his name necessarily, but you know how autocorrect will correct you. So I didn't double check. It misspelled his name, put a A instead of E. He's like, oh, but you didn't read my profile. I'm like, my bad. Let's start over. I apologize. Because my phone hates me. So I said, I apologize. So let's start over, ask him the couple of questions. He's like, yeah, oh, I'm not here for anything serious either. And I said, I don't know where I said I wasn't here for anything serious. I said, being polyamorous doesn't mean that you don't want anything serious. He's like, oh, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying me in general, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but still not answering the question. So then I said, so am I right to assume that you don't have any experience with non-monogamous people?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I have some experiences. I said, okay, so tell me about your experience. And this guy's just like beating around the bush. And I'm like, I just need direct answers. So anyway, by the time I asked him 2 questions, I think by that point I'm at about 7 questions, right? And typically for me, when I ask you so many questions, you don't even have the common sense to return those questions to me. Even if you like, I honestly think my profile is a plethora of questions. Like, there's so many questions you can ask based on that alone.
Yes.
But the fact that I'm asking you those questions, if you can't think of anything, you can just return the same questions to me. This guy's not asking anything. So finally I said, well, by any means, do not let this be an interrogation. What does he say? He said, well, it gives interrogation vibe. I'm like, yeah, definitely should not be dealing with you because you're not even bright enough to recognize this. So then, you know what he asked me? What he comes up with? These are the questions he asked. He said, so how's your day? What are you up to? Sir,
Boring.
we're talking deep questions. So by that point, I said, how will we get to know each other if we cannot ask each other questions? By that point, he unmatched. I was like, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Because people, and in his profile, I feel like he was claiming he wants like a smart woman. And I'm like, but you're not smart. How are you going to want
at all?
You're not even.
At all.
So I was like,
yes.
Now I see why people are like that. It's trash. It's trash. It is trash.
Hit me with the WYD.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I was like,
high school.
Those questions were just too hard for him. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like really challenging your intelligence right now.
I think what happens with men, I'm going to speak for women now. I think men are afraid to really say what they want, and because what they really want is, it will, however they say it is going to sound horrible. It's never what they really want. They really can't say because they know better. And so they don't say what they really want. And they're just trying to like finagle it. And it's just a hot mess.
You can get the not smart vibe though. This was a not smart vibe. It wasn't like, I'm not trying to say anything, because he was literally just like, blank.
Well, I'm going to tell you some disasters that I've had lately. The number one thing is guys are pretty much, they're just doing the swipe. They're just like, oh, she's cute. Oh, nope, she's cute. They're just doing this, like, it's almost like the pictures are a deck of cards and they're just like, they're just shuffling, right? They are not reading anything whatsoever. And I have to do the whole conversation with, well, I don't usually say read my profile. Sometimes what I do now is I just don't even mention it, right? I don't mention it. I just like play upon their, like, you should already have read my profile. You should have gone back. And then eventually they'll come up with, what's the poly thing? Oh yeah, I'm poly. Yeah. Word. And then it's cool. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. And then I'm like, I know bullshit.
Right.
So, but I get on the phone and I've had several conversations about, like, I think a lot of men, especially when they see poly, they want a poly coach. I think that would be a great career for me.
Well, I definitely need to get my coaching license because I could be coaching these people out there.
Yes, because they were like, okay, so how does it work?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not mad when people ask how does it, because truly the ignorance about the topic is out there, and it's fine if you don't know, you don't know, because the assumption is even worse, right? But my problem is like when I see something that I don't recognize, something that I don't know, a term that I don't know, do you know what I do? Pull up my phone. Google is my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, ask
Google's
Google,
my husband.
what is this? And Google gives me an idea. So then by the time I get to talking to somebody who's experienced in that, then at least I come with a basic knowledge of the definition at least. And then they can tell me about the experiences. But people don't even bother doing that.
I think that polyamory has it's such like a buzzword, you know, but it's really not really known. And people they go Google, like, let's Google polyamory right now. I'm about to do it.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna read some of the comments. Raheem was like, "Yo, Facebook dating is popping. Oh, dating app Ethical Slut. Really? There's a app that's called Ethical Slut. I don't know. Okay, J Tina says Puff is the worst. I've never heard of that one. It's your demographic by Nisha. My next boo is from Facebook dating. So you already know, Raheem. You already met her. All right. The men also have no conversation skills. I don't blame you on that. I totally agree. I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of them. But you know, one of my partners, literally the first day that we started talking, I knew it was gonna be great because I sent him my little paragraph, and he comes back with even a longer paragraph with a bunch of questions. I'm like, oh, I like this man. Let's keep chatting. And I couldn't wait to read the next message because it wasn't just like, oh, what you doing? Oh, how was your day? Oh, how are you? Like, it was like truly good conversation. So you can usually tell when the conversation's about to get good. And women get unmanned cases for the copy and paste. Oh, I'm not about to type a whole paragraph for each new person. I'm giving, depending, I will add a little something based on your profile. Like if you mention something on your profile, then I'll ask you about it. But I'm copying and pasting everybody the same message just because I typically need you to know those basic things about me. I'm polyamorous. I'm a single mom of 2 younger children, which means my availability is limited. Like those kind of things, I feel like they're important to know because as I navigated through dating and dating apps, I realized there are things that people don't specifically want, which is valid. This guy, he didn't want anybody with younger kids because he's like, I like spontaneity. And I'm like, first of all, unless you are retired, spontaneity cannot be happening every day, right? Because as a working person, you're gonna have a schedule. I'm a business owner. I'm like, I can't just drop everything because you just call and say, "Oh, let's go to Mexico." That's not how it happens. We can be spontaneous sometimes, but not all the time. But his thing was like no younger children because you are limited in how spontaneous you can be. I said, I respect that, and let's keep it moving.
So here's a definition. Here's a definition of polyamory. The practice of engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual relationships with the consent of all the people involved.
I think people get confused with the all people involved. That's why they think it's a whole orgy.
Well, either that or they miss that part and then they go, "Oh yeah, I'm poly." Yeah, but my girlfriend, she don't know nothing, but you know, she cool.
Right.
She cool. And I actually had that conversation like 2 days ago, and the guy was like, really nice guy. I mean, there's such a lot of nice, let me say that, nice, wonderful guys out there in the world. I mean, there is a plethora of beautiful men out here, but you just got to connect on what you connect on. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I was like, well, do you have a partner already? And he said, yes. And I was like, so are you all polyamorous? And he's like, well, I am.
Oh, okay. What
And
does that mean, sir?
and then he said, yes, she's not really like, she don't really like that, but and I was like, well, why would you want to invite someone into that? It already sounds like a mess.
It
You
is.
already have a partner who I mean, at least he's honest. Like, that's the first thing. I'm like, I'm so happy you're able to say that your partner doesn't like you seeing other people. So really, you shouldn't be even on a dating app.
Right.
You shouldn't even be on a dating app talking to me or anyone else if your partner is going to have a problem with it. Why would you, like, I would, if I were her, I would feel horrible.
She gives me a whole pass for every once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's not cool. And I was like, it's like, he's like, well, I don't know. And then at the end of the conversation, he was like, well, let me know what, and I was just like,
It's a big factor.
why would you want to invite me into that shit circus? You know what I'm saying? It already doesn't sound.
Yeah.
Am I gonna meet the girlfriend at some point because you want me to, get smacked around or something? Like, what is going on here? Crazy. It was just like, but I just appreciated that he was really honest about that. I mean, he could have been like, nah, she's cool. So
yeah.
I think reading profiles is really important. Number one, like, if you make a connection with someone, get on the phone with them. Get on the phone. 5 minutes, I know everything I need to know.
But see, I like to text so do you know Bumble actually has video chat, call without that person having your phone number. So if I feel like I need to talk to them, I'll send a voice note first, but I need to hear what they sound like. After they send it, I'm like, hey, are you cool with calling on Bumble? Because Bumble gives you that option. You can make a phone call and then you can also make a video call if you want to see what they look like.
I think
So I don't have to give you my phone
things
number.
you could use whatever works. All of that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Get on some sort of voice service, not
Right.
them texting. However, whatever you use, get on that and hear them, because I really feel like people's pictures don't really match their who they are.
Whew.
And seriously, like, you have like, I don't know, maybe I'll see some pictures of some super fine, dope, stylish guy, and I'll be like, oh yeah, he's cool, he looks good. And then we start talking on the phone, and he sound like, no, he doesn't sound like, he did just get out of jail, and he sounds like he had a hard life. And it's just like, I mean, I always say to myself, you have choices, Sky. You have choices, just keep choosing.
I went on the first date. He was already waiting at the restaurant. When I got in, he's like, oh my God, you actually look like your pictures. I said, I'm sorry, was I not supposed to? He's like, oh, you have no idea. And I get it, because I feel like for guys, they probably get it really hard because, I mean, we have makeup, right? As women, we can wear makeup and we can do a whole transformation. We can look like one person without makeup. And by the time we put on makeup, we're like, even our parents would not recognize us, right?
Facts.
And I don't feel like it's fair. So for me, I've actually gone on dates with absolutely no makeup on, because I need you to see what you're going to see on a regular basis if we end up hanging out. Because first of all, I am lazy as fuck. I'm not about to do my makeup every day. It's just not a thing for me. And I am trying to preserve my little melanin and my beautiful skin for when I get older, so I can truly say black dog crack. So
Right.
I really don't wear makeup on a regular not every day. So if I have special occasions, every once in a while, and even when I'm going on dates, if I do wear some makeup, I do a little bit of eyes, and my face just stays the same. I don't really put anything on my skin. So yeah, they do have it hard because it's
Straight up
all
disguises.
yes, yes, yes.
So
It
that's another point you just made, that I don't even think women only. I'm gonna say for everyone, because I met this guy on there a while ago actually, and he had filters on, and I was like,
that's a big no-no for me.
it no. So I've seen the women's side, what guys see, and a lot of women, most of the women have filters on their pictures.
Yes, I see that.
And I'm just like, do you not love yourself? Because when he sees you, you know you don't look like that.
And to me, at that point, I feel like you're a liar. I don't even want to have a conversation with you.
So the one guy that I met, he had filters on his pictures, right? We actually are loose friends. Like I'll say more like I know him. I've seen him out and stuff like that. But I was really disappointed in the whole filter thing. And I was like, why are you putting filters? That is so, I hate to use the word. I just didn't like, I didn't like that he had filters on his pictures. That was very misleading. So I can only imagine when a guy sees all these women and all their faces are like impeccable. What is going on?
Right. Yeah. Well, I did see today, literally.
You will walk right past them.
It's true. Today I saw on I think it was OKC. Was it one of them? Because it was the two that I was on today. And this guy literally had filters and everything. Because you can tell when everything is so smooth, like flawless.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God, you're a guy. Like, I don't like it when girls do it, but especially a guy, I'm just like, no, sir, we're not doing that. Hey, Steven.
So, J Tina says, I don't use my picture due to my work. That is hard to get someone to understand. So how are you able to connect with anyone without a picture on a dating app? Because if they're swiping on pictures, what do you have? Is it just a picture of something else? Because anytime I see a guy who has no pictures of himself on there, I'm assuming he's just on there looking. He just wants to look.
Actually, that's what I assume. When you hide
I'm saying this must be a woman because it's a woman's thing on the. I have to do video chat. How is that working for you? You might want to jump in on the call. You might need to call in because we need to understand what's going on here. How can you do this without a picture? People are basically shopping for people on these dating apps, and you need a picture. Are you writing enough in your profile that it's like, I am amazing? Like, what are you saying for someone to choose you when their whole platform is based on what a person looks like? You got to put your best. Oh, how do I call in? Oh, let me post the link.
Okay. So I'm going to read some of the comments now. I read the profiles because there's
you can come in on audio or video, whatever you're comfortable with.
I read the profiles because there's
I'm posting the link now
on those sites. True. Dudes are poly by nature. Stop that. Calusis. Stop that. Not by nature. I think all people are polyamorous by nature.
I do.
Why do some poly people stay in relationships with monogamous people? I don't know why they do that because to me that's torture. But
I can answer that.
Huh?
I always can answer those questions. Where is it?
Let me put it on.
Angel Love. Why do some poly people stay in relationships with monogamous people? My answer. Because the pool of polyamorous people is very small. A. B. Just because you're poly doesn't mean I'm attracted to you. So I'm going to be attracted to you based on you, not based on what way you like to love, right? So I always have considered monogamous people, maybe secretly hoping they would embrace polyamory, but in most cases they don't.
So you come in with an agenda.
I don't come with an agenda.
I'm kidding.
It's a tiny wishful thinking, but once again, I can so the biggest issue a monogamous man has with polyamory is sexual polyamory, right? And I'm saying for the right guy, I can be sexually monogamous. But and when I say the right guy, I mean in lights, like on a movie theater, like big.
Okay.
I could commit that way, but I'm still gonna have all my guy friends and going out and stuff like that. So I'm still have my freedom. I'm still gonna be poly. Like I had to tell someone, not because I have one partner doesn't mean that I'm not poly anymore. It's just like a gay person is still gay, even if they're not engaging with anyone at the time. That doesn't mean that now they're heterosexual. They are still gay. Once they've discovered they were gay, they're still gay.
Right.
So I'm still poly, regardless of if I have one partner, 99 partners, 1,200 partners, 0 partners, blah, 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 blah. JT, I hope you saw the call-in link. I don't know if you're on. It looks like you're on Facebook, so it should have been posted if you're still open to it.
My door. Okay.
If we are poly, I don't want my woman to be non-poly sexually. I want her to explore more. Yes, that's exactly what we want. Tina did not see it. Let's see. I'm going to post it again. I think you're on the Sky Juice page. Are you not? If you're not, then go to the Poly Pimps on YouTube, and the link is there as well. You must be on Me Too's page. That's where you are, probably. I don't know why it's not popping up on her page, but if you can scoop over to the Poly Pimps page on YouTube, the StreamYard.com link, that's the link to get on, and then you could call in and tell us how you're able to snatch all those fine men with no picture. I'd like to find that out. So, yeah. Let's see. There's married folks on there. So yes, that is a thing. So, poly people we're okay with married folks as long as married folks who are on these apps are ethically non-monogamous. That's okay with us. It's the ones that are unethical. That's the ones you got to be careful. And you know how easy it is? It's so easy to figure out if someone is married and unethical. All you have to do, if you feel some sort of way, be like, well, you have a partner, you have a wife, or whatever the living situation, say, hey, is it cool that I can get on the phone with your wife at some point and talk to her? I mean, I just want to make sure, because people out, you just be like, people out here crazy, and people out here are disrespectful to their partners, and they say they're poly, but they're not. And if they're like, well, what happened was, she cool, she don't really want to know what's going on, and yeah, it's time for us to. Uh-oh.
We got a guest. Hey, Miss JT.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
You came on the Poly Mix,
Good
huh?
to
The Poly
see you.
Plan.
Actually,
Let me tell you,
last
you
Saturday.
said call in. I'm looking, so clearly I'm not tech savvy. And I was
That's
like, okay, we'll get into the studio. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a camera thing.
I
Oh,
mean, I'm glad you came on your camera. You don't have to, but I like it even more.
so yeah, I have a whole poly process. Hi, me
Hey, what's up, girl?
So the reason why is I don't really put my face out there because I'm a therapist. And so, with me dealing with the public, I don't have my face out there because I don't need you, stalking my profile, causing me issues.
We get that.
So, part of my thing is for me to be able to have a set way of doing things. So I don't have a picture, but if we video chat, then you can see me live, and so that's why I try to lead up to those standards. I'll like them or whatever, and then we'll message back and forth. Every now and then, I'll be like, send me your number and I'll call you. And then, but it's that standard of we have to talk on the app. We have to video chat on the app first. Because if you go any other route, like I've been burnt going the other route.
So let me ask you, what apps are you using?
So it's POF. POF I've done for years.
Oh.
But I stopped doing POF because it was dead. So POF, Facebook dating seems to be my go-to because I can send messages back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can send messages back and forth. We can video chat. I've tried Bumble, Tinder. I got on, got off. Hinge. I don't know if Adult Friend Finder, we can count that one. I'm not sure.
Finder, I'm taking notes.
And recently, I know I'm about to go real old school. The chat line.
Yeah, don't. I never heard of that.
You know what? I think I remember you mentioning that Saturday.
I thought you were gonna say MySpace because you said.
So
I thought you were gonna say MySpace.
You call into the chat line, and it's still out for like whatever areas or whatever. And yeah, the thing about it, the reason why I like the chat line versus other things is because you can hear their voice and you can have an instant conversation. And you can tell a lot about that instant conversation. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now, have I been successful?
That question.
I am single.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily going to say I've been successful. But I've had a few relationships.
Your goal, you could be single and stay dating. I mean, what's your goal?
So I can't believe I am on here to airing all my good dirty laundry. I just recently got out of a poly relationship. I recently just left a poly relationship, and that's a whole story you're gonna have to, get on a different time because
let's do it.
You're gonna need to be a guest on here, girl.
That's a whole nother story. But I'm in a healing process.
Oh, from that?
Yeah, because I just left the relationship in May.
May was 9 years ago. What are you talking about?
No, I can understand. Sometimes it does.
May was a long ass time ago. That was
no, ma'am.
Ago. What are you talking about?
This is. I'm not just doing that. Oh, I got hurt. I literally walked away from a 3-person relationship.
That's
I left everybody, and so the kind of healing, the kind of healing that I need to do the proper way. I need to do it the proper way so that the next person and the next people that I connect myself to, I make sure that I do it in a proper way.
Wow, that sounds so responsible.
Oh,
You,
God.
you know what? Because
Don't do stuff
let
like
me
that.
tell you, and this is what we were talking about on Saturday. The reason why the dating pool is so
Murky.
muttered up and just dirty is because people don't heal. They
Mm,
get out of one thing and they turn around and they're like, okay, what's the next thing? Because I've done it. I've been the serial relationshipper, because I'm hurt and I'm looking for the next thing to make me feel better. And I'm thinking, okay, this time I'm going to get it right. This time it's going to be I'm going to put it all in. And what happens is you get into the midst of it and you start thinking, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And then triggers start happening and you don't know how to handle those triggers. And what you do is you mask them, you don't deal with them, you don't go to your partner can't understand. It's just so many different aspects that by time you turn around, you leaving that relationship or that relationship is falling apart and you trying to connect to the next one.
so when you say you got out of a poly relationship, a triad, is that what you meant?
No, no.
A V?
It was one man and four women.
So so you left the whole group.
The whole
But
polycule.
you were in a relationship with only him, right? Or you
Nope.
were oh you had how many partners? How many partners would you say you had? It was a closed
At
group.
the time that I left, I had two partners. The situation started off with me in a close triad. Then the
Okay.
situation changed. You're gonna make me tell my story. Okay.
No, I don't want to make you do anything. I just wanted to I just wanted you to tell the story. That's all.
So I met a guy. Got with the guy. We were together. Um, he basically, his wife basically was like, I don't want to be with y'all. Y'all go ahead. Bye. So she left us.
Wow.
So then he was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's do this. So we started looking for other people. He had other people. That didn't work out too well. I went, kind of met somebody, brought her into the household. We all got together. We were together. Married her legally, married her. We were together. And then I felt as though we weren't compatible anymore, but they were still together. So we were all still together. So then we decided to try to find a fourth, date other people. That didn't work out too well. So then finally we agreed, okay, we're all gonna date separately. So that's when I found a girlfriend. She came in, had that. He found the girlfriend. She came in. So that's how I wound up being four women, one man. And I found out that I was not getting what I needed. And if I had to be honest, I became angry. I
Resentful.
became
Resent.
bitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think resentful. I don't think the resentfulness really hit in until I walked away. And I was just like, oh, all the stuff. And then I just was like, at the end of the day, it's not mine. It's not mine,
I have
you
a question.
know. Hmm.
When you met him, how long ago was that? Like how many years was that
Oh
relationship?
no, no. When I say we did this thing, we did this thing. 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, boom, we all in together.
Yeah, so right there, that's when I would have jumped off because it's just too much too fast. And what was the rush
Because
of getting
so
this whole group
so
thing?
the reason why, first of all, I used to move into relationships really fast, which is the reason why I got out of a relationship in May and I'm healing now. You
Oh
see what I'm
yeah.
saying now? You
Oh
see
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying now?
I mean,
So,
if to me in the
mhm,
most loving way I could say this, like if you are
mhm.
jumping in a relationship with that much people and in you said y'all moved in together.
Mhm.
That is heavy to me. That's heavy to
Yeah.
me.
But
So
it was
yeah,
something that I did because I felt like everything was right. I felt like everything was right. All of the boxes had been checked. I mean everything. So when I went into it with like, yep, this is what I'm on. I'm all in. This is what I'm looking for.
and did y'all have
Even
like
when,
really deep conversations with one another? And the part when you
yes.
said I was feeling like my needs weren't being met, when were you able to vocalize that?
So when I started
This
vocalizing
is me
that,
coaching
when
you. You
I
said,
started vocalizing that, I believe that was my inner first red flag. But I had a conversation with myself and I said, you wanted this. So poly's not easy. So you have to work at it. So you
mhm.
have to go back and you have to deal with yourself. Now there's some other stuff that was also said, but I'm gonna try to keep the focus on me.
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
I can only be responsible for me. You know what I'm saying? That's a
I mean,
part of this healing process.
I
I
think
can
you're
only be responsible for me.
absolutely. I would love to talk to you offline
Hmm.
because I just, I'm fascinated if you're open to a one-on-one. But anyway, back to the whole dating app thing. I definitely
Right.
agree with the whole healing process that you need. But yes, a lot of people are on these dating apps not healed.
Not healed. And
Not
so on the women's side as well as on the men's side, because I'm greedy. So, I'm bisexual. So I'm not a pillow princess. I'm not looking for no pillow princesses. And yeah, that's not happening over here. I'm greedy and I want us to all share and share alike. So it's not just the men that are hurt, it's the women that are hurt. And we just walking around just hurting each other,
well,
going
that
back and forth.
the point you brought up is that's so spot on. That's what folks need to do when they're on these apps and you're talking to someone. I'm listening for the fact, have you healed from your traumas? Because if I can hear stuff in your conversation that's a lot of like childhood trauma or, relationship trauma and stuff like that, it's like my life is so peaceful. I don't really need to mingle with folks who
Exactly.
don't do their own self work. You know
But
what
there are a lot of people that's hiding their trauma and you don't get to see it.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't get to see
you
it.
won't see it, but it'll come out eventually.
Right. It'll come out eventually.
It
So
will.
you have to, this is why I'm saying you got to take that time. You
Yeah.
got to take that time to while I'm healing, because I was up until recently, I was just like, I'ma just be focused on me and mine. I'ma focus on what I'm doing. I'ma focus on, getting this money, getting my business out there, branding my brand out there. And recently I've had some people picking at me. And so now I'm like,
Gotcha.
uh so yeah. So now that there's been some picking, I'm like, it's that fear of getting back out there, really, putting yourself in predicaments where you're vulnerable,
So
you
if you're
know,
in a place where you're healing, why are you on an app anyway? Why don't you just be with yourself?
because I'm human. Because I'm human. I'm healing, but I'm human. If I was, if I was totally trying to do this without there being any type of like, oh, I'm good. That would be me lying to myself. Because I want attention. I want to be told by somebody else that I'm beautiful. I want to be wanted,
You want to be
even right. You know what I'm saying? Even though I am healing, and but the difference between me on these dating apps is my first, I guess, couple of text messages is, did you read my profile? Let's have a video chat. Because in my profile, it says, I'm poly, I'm bi, and I'm not looking for a lot, but we can talk about the rest. And I'm in the healing process. And I say that early. I'm in the healing process. I've had some people be like, oh, okay, what does that mean? Does that mean that we not getting busy? See, it's not for you. That
All
that
you care about is the
that's
sex
the X
drive.
right there. Thanks for playing. Time to go. That just lets me know that you just have this one thing in mind. So even though I'm vulnerable and even though I'm healing, I'm still human. I'm still a woman that wants to be, wanted.
And a lot of guys don't want. I like the honesty, but I can understand where you're coming from. You want like someone who is intimate with you. You want intimacy more than anything. Am I getting that right?
I do. I want the intimacy, but also, I want to get a little flirty in now and then. I want to give a little shoulder and take it right back. I want to have that too. And I must say I am I'm currently having an experience that I will definitely say he did it right.
Oh,
He
Okay.
did it right.
so you had no picture up. He swiped on you. He read your profile. He did the
hmm
video, and
hmm
it's moving
We
along.
we exchanged numbers. We exchanged
Oh,
numbers. We've chit chatted and everything else. And the funny thing is that we became Facebook friends, but his picture on his profile is just like mine. It's like a silhouette. So you see, but you can't see his face. And I'm like, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. But I think it's because people they want to take away some of that superficialness. You know what I'm saying? People, oh, don't look at me because I'm cute or don't look at me because I'm pretty. Look at what's inside of me before you just look on what's on the outside.
Colossus. I want to know who this person is. But they was like, oh, Suki Suki now. David said she likes to tease for a while. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And he also says, I think having no real pick as a woman can help make people read your profile more. Is that?
Mm.
Oh, I'm about to take all my pictures down.
But that's the thing. So that's the other thing. I do have pictures up. But the pictures don't show my face. Like literally, there's a silhouette of me. You can see you can see all my voluptuousness.
Well, guys want to
Um,
see you. They're always like, I need a full body pic. I need to see all of you. So you got to put what they want to see because they're Amazon shopping. They're looking for their dream.
everything that you shop for on Amazon is not value. You
Right,
know
but
what I'm
you get your
saying?
money back though.
No, listen. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I will
No,
return
there
something.
are some things. There are just some things you just don't. You want to. So the one thing that I do with my pictures is you not getting no back shots. I'm not turning to the side. You not seeing nothing. You want to see all of that? You gonna have to do that in person.
Gotta buy it.
You're gonna have to do that in person. And that's the thing. And I'm a fair dater. Like I'm definitely like the first time we meet, we can go to the coffee shop.
Me
Mhm.
too. I actually
You
prefer
know?
coffee.
That's where you should go. Okay, that's a good.
Yeah.
Bringing up all the good points. So I'll speak for the guys because I know a lot of guys are sick and tired of women wanting to have a first date at the most expensive restaurant they can ever. They can't even afford it. And they were like, why are these women
Because
wanting
they're hungry. They're
fantasy
hungry.
TV shit that they come up with where they haven't even met the guy in real life. Like there's no connection. There's just like, well, let me meet him to see who he is, to introduce myself. The first meeting should be at a coffee shop.
So
Period.
let me just tell you. It's a two-way street fault, right? Because you got men that'll say, "Oh, I could afford it. I can afford it. I don't have no problem taking her. But if I take her, then I'm gonna expect her to put out."
Yeah, but is that? I
But
mean, that's
then
the type of relationship y'all are building.
But and
Is
I was
that
about to
what
say,
you-
but
is that
then you have the women, that's on the other side that's looking for them sugar daddies. Do
Yeah,
you know how
but
it
is that
they
what?
mucking up the water?
Me too. Is that what we are doing now?
I want
They
to
are mucking up the water.
now for me, I'm typically the first date is coffee or drinks unless the person suggests more. But I'm always down for coffee and drinks um on the first date because it can be quick and it can be long depending on
Right,
the vibe.
right,
So there's
right.
no real commitment there.
Yeah.
But I've
What?
had first dates that are like dinner or lunch. So, like I said, it depends on the person, but I'm always ready to pay on the first date.
Yep.
I don't expect people to pay for me. And
Okay.
I've paid for both on first dates before,
Hmm.
depending
I'm not
on
that
the,
woman.
depending on the vibe. And typically, if I invite, I do expect to pay. Now, I've really gone out with most men who are just kind of like, nah, I got this. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate. I'm not gonna like tell you, oh no, I invited you. No, if you offer, I'm gonna let you pay. But if I invited you, I do expect to pay.
I think a valid conversation that people in the dating world should have is, especially I hear about this all the time, and guys can ask it, women can ask it, but they should ask, are you traditional or are you modern? Right? I am
Hmm.
not, I'm not modern. I always say like I'm a traditional polyamorous, but I have like I remember I went out with this guy and he said let's go to the movies and I said cool. I thought that was pretty cool because it was like Kings of Comedy or something. This was years ago.
Oh, okay.
We go to the movies and he walks up and buys himself a ticket. And I have never in my life had that happen to me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got money. I bought my own ticket, right? We watched the movie. It was fun. He passed by the snacks. And he's like, that's a ripoff. They want to sell you a bag of popcorn for $10 or something. I was like, I mean, it's part of why they're able to make movies.
Experience.
Sure. So we sat in the theater, like twiddling our thumbs, watching the movie. And I was like, okay, this is different. Cool. So then we get back, we leave the movie theater, and he was like, oh, you want to see where I live? Okay, sure. So he drives by his house. He's like, that's my house. I was like, nice, cool. He's like, you want to see inside? I was like, no, not at all, actually. I'm good. You could take me home. because and my whole thought was if we're going on a date and you invite me on a date and you want me to pay for my own movie ticket, I do not need to see your house inside. Okay, there's nothing going, the movie was over, that was our fun date. Yeah, so yeah, does not compute. Yeah, and
So
I'm
I am the type of person where I will turn the tables. So recently, I took a guy out on a date.
Hmm.
And so I will do that very often
never done
because
that.
I
I love
think that men they don't get treated that way. You know what I'm saying? They don't get treated that way. They don't
That's a good
get
enough. That's
value.
another good show that you just came up with, another good show, because I think that could be like across the board poly mono. I don't know how to feel about that because I also feel like there's roles, right? And
See,
there's
but that's
certain
the
things
thing.
I'm not
I'm a
going to
mix
do.
of the old and the new.
Certain
I'm a
things
mix of the old and the new.
say it
I,
again.
it, I'm a mix of the old and the new. So it takes the old and it takes the new because even though I will take them out on a date, I expect for them to open my door on all doors, my car door, the door to the restaurant. If I'm going to the ladies' room, that door. I'm a mix of the old and the new because I understand that times have to change, but then there are some basic foundation things. Like if we are talking in a conversation, I don't expect for the first couple of words out your mouth to be cuss words to me. You know what I'm saying?
Tina, I agree with you. Like I take my man out all the time. I
Mhm.
love it. I like to treat. And it's not just I mean, even going out with friends, most of the time I'm gonna offer to pay. I'm just that person. But I like, especially for my partners, I like to
Mhm.
take them out. I like to give gifts and things like that. I want to spoil you. When you're with me,
Right,
you want to be spoiled in every kind of way. I don't believe in just traditional roles when it comes to
right,
stuff like that. Although, I would rather not hang the picture, baby. Can you do that for me? Can you change the light
right,
bulb? I like
right,
that kind of stuff, even though I can do it. If you here in my vicinity, I need you to do it for me
right,
instead of me doing it. But also, I don't mind going to the restaurant with you and paying the bill. I don't mind that.
right. So I
I,
literally,
I don't
have
mind
been
if
out.
I no, let me think. Do I mind? I don't mind if I'm involved. Like if I'm involved and we are in a relationship and we've had time together, and yes, then we can volleyball, right? But at the beginning, at the very initial, I just met you type of deal, I don't necessarily I want to see your manliness. And I think that comes from, I think that's
Now
me.
I will tell
I'm
you.
a
Now I
lady.
will definitely. I'll admit. I'll
See you
admit.
be a man to me, because if I could pay for my own dinner, I can cook my own dinner, first of all. So, and it's not really dinner, because it's not a dinner thing to me. It's more of a, like, if we go out for coffee to meet, I mean, I could pay for coffee and a biscuit or a what do you call those things? A muffin. I mean, I have
Right.
no problem with that at all. I just find that it's really awkward for a guy to be like, hey, can you buy your own thing?
Well,
You know,
yeah, I don't like that because I did want, like,
can you
although I
pay
was
for
not
can you pay
necessarily
for your own coffee? And I was like, I can. But
like,
But it's
know,
finding the happy balance, right? Because part of my response, right, of me having my own is me being able to say, I don't need you to pay for me. And I don't want you to think that you get to ask me for anything more. So I'm setting a boundary, or I'm going to show you how to treat me. Watch how I do this because this is the standard, right? So
mm,
it is a good balance, right? Because if you go to do it and the guy goes, "Oh, I got you," then you have to decide, right, as a woman, because we always hollering as women, oh, I want a good provider. I want him to take care of me. I want to be spoiled. Well, you have to be willing to, and I got a friend that tell me all the time, I'm always trauma responding to people when they doing things for me because I have this thing of, I don't want to owe you. I don't want to give you that
so
space. So,
so for me taking you out to dinner is you coming to my house and me cooking you a fabulous meal that is probably better than most restaurants, period.
okay.
On top of which we have extra food so you can get more because there's only one plate you buy at a restaurant. You understand what I'm saying? Like I could do
It
better.
is,
I could do better than a restaurant on any day. Number one,
right.
I could take a man to dinner at my house. And that's what I do. So that's me giving. That's my
Mhm.
way of doing like what men want. I mean, going to a restaurant is beautiful. Sometimes it's the ambiance and the experience of it all. So I like that too occasionally, but I also think like me putting my time and energy and love into creating a meal to me is more special. And
But now, if you just meeting this guy, right? If you just meeting this guy, that's why my rule is after we video chat the first time we meet, it has to be in
oh yeah,
public.
oh yeah, oh
Because
no, no, no. I'm
right, and
not
that's what I'm saying. So if we're dating and this is like you, unless I really trust you, and no, I gotta be honest. I gotta tell the truth and hold the truth, nothing but the truth, because this gonna be on the internet somewhere. There was times in my life. Let's just start there. There was times in my life where I just was like, I'm gonna just throw caution to the wind, and the risk taker in me was like, come on in, okay? Which is the reason why now I have developed these standards that hopefully puts me in a better position. And so far, so good. Every now and then, I slip up and be like, I let that one get a little bit too much. I had an incident last week on Facebook dating. We exchanged. I said, okay. He was like, well, what do you look like? What do you look like? I said, well, send me your number. He sent me the number. We didn't do the video chat call. He said, oh, you got a gap. I was like, yeah. He was like, well, you know what you could do with that gap.
Oh.
Really?
They every time they go sexual so fast.
And now I was like, see, I let that one by. So we got to go right back to the standard. You know what I'm saying? We got to go right back to the standard. But the point is that you got to find the balance. You know what I'm saying? You got to find the balance.
I have
you got to try and you can bring it back.
I have a gap. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, no, dating apps. I mean, I think the thing for navigating them is get to talking, because the whole chat thing, you got to get off of chat, whatever app you use, or if you use your phone number or what have you, get to talking. I think that what I've seen lately is guys, I'm willing to meet someone, but guys don't really put the effort. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm listening to y'all, and I know my method hasn't really worked, but I wait for them to say, hey, do you want to meet? And let me tell you, I'll be waiting till the end of the flat earth. Okay. I really want to be like, hey, you want to meet up on Friday? You know, what are you doing Friday? You want to meet? Let's go meet. Because we've already established there's a connection, right? Mm-hmm. So I want them to say, hey, let's meet. And they don't do it. And I'm just like, y'all want a woman to do that all the time?
But trust me, it's not just the dudes. On the women's side, it's the same thing. I don't know how many women I've been like, okay, well, what are you doing next weekend? I don't know what you're doing next weekend. I'm just like, I think it has a lot to do. I think it has a lot to do with the fear of not being able to be themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the thing is, I think COVID, because before COVID, it was a different experience for me.
It
right?
was.
Okay, COVID changed like how people move completely, right? Before, my poly popping was my life was popping, because I would be like, okay, I got Thursday set up, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm a chill. You know what I mean? Like I was like dating and bouncing around and stuff like that. Now it is like so dead and so quiet. And my whole thing is, when I start talking to someone to make a connection, I immediately say, okay, this is my schedule. This is when I'm free. And, you know, there you go. You know, now you know.
So basically, yeah. you wanna throw hints out there instead of being direct in your communication and saying what you want.
No, that's not a hint. That's absolutely direct. That is like, this is when I'm free. This is when I'm available. Period. You let me know what's up. That's not a hint. That's direct.
No, I don't think
what am I supposed to say next?
I think the thing is, what does your schedule look like? Because what you told them what your schedule is. You've made it clear what your schedule is, but you have not said, what is your schedule like? When can we actually get together and make a face-to-face meeting? Like some people,
because she's traditional. She doesn't want to be the one initiating.
The way that COVID had changed things. First of all, COVID itself, we are all in recovery, and everybody's not recovering the same way, right? So there are some people who have come out of COVID and have like this new release on life. Then they're like, yes, I was locked up and now I'm just going to be out there. And there are some people that's like, you know what? I'm scared to go back out there because I've made this my comfort zone. And this is my bubble and I don't get hurt here. I don't get hurt here. You know, I could talk, I could video chat people, and they never have to, you know, meet me in person. So some people do not know how to come out of that space and that place, and they don't know how to get into the recovery zone. So yes, the communication has to be different now. And even though you feel like you're being direct about your plans, but you're not being direct in, okay, this is what I want. What is it that you want? And how do we make this look the same?
Yeah, agreed. That's what I'm trying to get to a lot of times. So I'm working. I'm going to take some of that and try a ting.
I've had to work on asking for what I want. It's not the easiest thing for me to do. It is not the easiest thing for me to do because it's a very vulnerable space.
A lot of times we're afraid to ask because nobody wants rejection, right? But
right.
When you ask, it's a 50-50 chance of a yes or a no of you getting what you want or what you're looking for. And nobody wants rejection. So most of the time it makes people not ask. But I'm always like, I'm going to ask. I will take a no, but at least I know that I asked. Because if I don't ask, I don't know that I'm not going to get
what
I want. So I've gotten used to asking. And a lot of times, to my surprise, it's like, oh, sure. It's like, okay, that's great. You know?
Right. And I mean, you can even tweak your plan a little bit and just be like, you know, I'm free on these days and I'm available. Please let me know when you're available so that we can schedule a date and time.
I'm definitely going to get a little bit more.
I'm a planner, so I'm always like, hey, those are the dates I'm available. What does it look like for you? When can we get together? I'm that person. Even if it's like 3 months from now, let's put it on the calendar because honestly, if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening.
Exactly. So. My calendar is empty.
Because
so I don't even have a calendar for dates. I'm just literally winging it. I'm winging it. So, you know, I'm definitely.
My New Year's wish is to get my calendar full.
All right.
Full. All right, Miss Tina, are you an Aries?
Oh no.
Oh, she's like, oh no.
What is can you tell your sign? Are you open to that or is that too much?
I am. I'm a Cancer.
Oh,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I'm a Cancer. So I love hard. I fight even harder.
Sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Emotional.
You know, I do it all. But you know, I got that tough girl too. So you know, don't play.
Are you from New York?
Yes, I am.
How did I know? of all things. How did
I know? I've had people tell me I can't claim New York because I left when I was in my teenage years. And they like, nah, you can't claim New York. They tell me I got to claim North Carolina because that's where I spent majority of my time. But yes,
yeah, I'm a New Yorker coming straight out.
I'm from the South Bronx.
Yeah.
Colossus said, close true.
Did she just talk bad about Aries? Don't be doing that.
No, I have a baby that's Aries, but you know, I had some experiences with some Aries, and I just realized they're not the sign for me. You gotta learn what's in your wheelhouse, and I just ain't met an Aries that been like, I would love for you to come back to my wheel and my house, but until that happens. You know, I'm not down in Aries. I don't think any sign is above another. I'm just saying I'm open. I'm open to you proving me that Aries can be the one.
Yeah, an Aries and a Cancer can get together for sure.
That's a lot of water. It's a lot of emotion.
In New York. I'm from Brooklyn, Maritza. Hello. I'm from New York too, for sure.
Okay.
True Cancers are great lovers, but can't date an Aries. And then, of course, we got Virgos are best.
I
Um,
never
Oh,
done
of course.
anything. No.
Virgos are best. Wah wah.
People always got to rep they sign. People always got to rep they sign. You
Right.
know, it's
But
a space and time for everybody. That's why it's 12 months, y'all.
Yeah.
Pick one.
anyway, we have been an hour and a half.
Yeah, we gotta go. We are
That's
Okay.
we're responsible adults. Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
I was like, jump
like
on.
we will
Let me
be.
just tell y'all, I had to throw something in the wind because I was like, I didn't mean to get into a show. I was about to go to bed. I,
Right.
I was in
It's
bed mode. And you
possible.
was like, I was like, video. I was like, oh Lord. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I had to snatch
Yes.
everything. Just snatch. I was like, okay,
Well, I
this is what
learned
we doing
something
now.
today, and I am going to apply. I didn't even come here to learn. I thought I was sharing. So I'm about to go on these dating apps and get it right because my
Well, since since
Right.
since I have since I
my
have the captive audience, I actually do mental wellness coaching. So
Yes.
I specialize in relationships. I have a whole website. Check out Enrichment Pathways program. Of course, I'm poly, I'm bi, so I am open to, anyone who needs my help.
so let me
We're
Yes.
ask
gonna
you a
figure
question,
this out together. We're gonna
therapist,
figure this out together.
Yeah.
therapist Tina. So as you were a therapist to the masses, were you therapizing on your own self when you were in this wild
Woo!
relationship?
Child. When I
'Cause
tell you I was
what part of you was a therapist when you were dealing with all that?
so so part of me was talking to me in one aspect. I was like, okay, so I did a lot of journaling. I have 4 different journals. I did a lot of journaling. So I had to literally, and there were sometimes I literally took myself to therapy. So it's always best for a therapist to have a therapist because we have to be checked too. We are not perfect. I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. That is my motto. I'm not perfect. I am a therapist, but I am human and I am human and I am a therapist.
Well, let
That's
me
what
ask
I'm trying to tell you.
let me ask you another question. It sounds like you know how like couples need couples therapy? It sounded
Right.
like the group needed therapy.
It did. It did, but I can't speak for anyone else. I know that you can only be responsible for you. And the best thing that you can do in your poly situation is go to your partner and say, this is what I need. But I will be honest with you. I learned a lot about me in that relationship. I learned so much about my boundaries. Learned so much about what I will give up. I learned so much about me that when I finally was like, yeah, I I gotta go, that it didn't take me a month, a year. It was instant. It
Mhm.
was it was instant. And I was like, okay, it's done. It's done. And I never stopped therapeutically using my coping skills to get through situation, doing what I knew was the right thing to do. And then there was sometimes where
Mhm.
I didn't care what therapy or nothing was saying. I was acting a fool.
Mhm.
I was acting a fool. So I'm human, but I'm also a therapist. But we need therapy too.
Awesome.
Correct.
Well, that was awesome tonight. Thank you, Miss Tina, for coming on. That was really unexpected.
It
Yes.
was. It was. It was. I'm not going to charge y'all this time.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you for the
All
freebie.
right. Well, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and get the notifications. We come on every 2 weeks. We've been pretty consistent, right? Me too.
Okay.
Yes, every 2 weeks we have an amazing topics. We're always looking for guests. Now we don't just discuss polyamorous, topics. We try to mix it up with the regular mono stuff as well, and we
Okay.
mono people on here and stuff like that. So we're always looking for guests. If you have recommendations, let us know. Follow us. All you guys, just remember to go on our pages, the Poly Pimps on Instagram and Facebook. But we also have separate pages, Sky Juice and Polly Haitian on Facebook, Instagram, I think, and YouTube, Polly Pimps. Subscribe, follow us, give us the likes, share it with your friends, and thank you. Hey, Mark, thank you so much. Thank you, David. We really enjoy having you guys and discussing, and we are so grateful for all those comments. Yes, we had a lot of fun with you guys. And so we will see you in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, yes.
And yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Gobble,
cooking.
gobble, gobble.
Yes.
Sounds good. Have a good good night, y'all. And
Good
Thank you, Miss,
night.
for coming
Be
on.
loved.
And we
You're
shall
welcome.
end.
Peace, y'all.
Later.
Bye. That was good.